All right, let's talk about the topic on the table. We do have a pennant race now. The Padres have gone from 9 games out to 4.5 games out. And the Padres now have 15 consecutive games against the bottom feeders in baseball. The Pirates' good young pitching staff, the Rockies, and the Marlins. If they're going to plant their flag in first place, it starts with this series against the Colorado Rockies and proceeds over the next 15. The schedule, it's laid out weirdly. They're going to play a whole bunch of consecutive games, but they're playing the bottom dwellers for the most part of Major League Baseball. Their time has arrived. Unbelievable 2-game series. I mean, the Padres almost drew 100,000 at Petco Park for the back-to-back wins over the Dodgers. The Dodgers are in utter disarray. Padres are playing with great confidence. And then the Padres have now positioned themselves to a superb place as it relates to the pennant race by virtue of what they did at the baseball trading deadline. I think the Padres won the baseball trading deadline. A.J. Preller was bold, as he's always bold. Talking about the names, let's talk about who the Padres have added. Tanner Scott comes to town, left-handed reliever, all-star, Miami, only credible guy on the Miami roster, 1.18 ERA as a closer. Does have a history of being wild. They're getting him for 2 months. They paid a steep price to get him for 2 months. He's already said he's going to baseball free agency, but he's having a career year. He will be a joint closer with Robert Suarez. It'll be interesting to see whether it's matchups or how they use him. Other guy who came from the Marlins in the deal was Bryan Hoeing. He's a right-hander, converted starter, could be more of a long reliever, 2.49 ERA pitching for the Marlins. He comes in as an addendum guy in the bullpen. The third guy is the setup guy who came from Tampa Bay, Jason Adam. Flamethrower, wide variety of pitches, reinvented himself when he got to Tampa. Dude's been on the DFA list a couple times in his career, so he's really taken a jump forward. I think his ERA was 2.37. So those three are coming to the group that's already there. And John, the group that's already there is really good. That is Suarez. Mm-hmm. And that are all the setup guys led by Matsui. And then what you've got with Estrada and what he has become and what Morion has become as a setup guy. The Padres right now, to me, are 6 or 7 trustworthy arms in the bullpen. And they need it because they've not been able to keep their starters healthy. They need it because they could not get starting pitching because the price was too high. Now, at the end of the day, A.J. Preller, with the 5 transactions he's made, traded 14 of the top 16 players in the farm system. Farm system is barren. Poor El Paso. I'm not talking about the hot weather. I'm not talking about illegal aliens. I'm talking about El Paso, Chihuahua baseball. Last I ever checked, they're 22 games under 500 because AJ's traded all the prospects away. He's got nothing there. He's got hardly anything at AA. And what they've got is at the Rancho Cucamongas in the Class A's of the world, which is a long ways away from being Major League Baseball. So, John, it was a hell of a 48 hours in these games against the Dodgers. They did shut those bleeping fans up, and you finally heard beat L.A., beat L.A.
For sure.
And that was an electric first night victory and just a whipping in the second night victory over Dodger Blue. So the floor is yours. Talk about what the Padres have become and the 15-game schedule ahead, and then like or dislike price paid compared to what they got, and your thoughts going forward on Friar Baseball.
First of all, the series was great, especially the big comeback win in the first game. That was Tuesday, right?
That was electric.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. And what a great comeback that was. Last night's game, it was the Padres had it in hand all the way, but you're looking at the Dodgers and you're expecting them to be the big gorilla in the middle of the room. And like Clayton Kershaw, you can tell he's at the end of his career. Freddie Freeman's still in the hospital with his family. Mookie's not there. Gavin Lux is making errors all over the place. And I'm thinking, this isn't the Dodger team that I'm always worried about. But, give them another 30 days, and a lot of those guys are going to be back, right?
Well, they hope they're going to be back, but they look dead in the water. They had no leadership. There was no spunk at all. They played really poorly. The pitching got battered. They're a battered, broken down team right now, but that can change. And of course, they've got right now 8 weeks of baseball left. And it looks like a couple of these guys, a couple of the injured pitchers, and Mookie Betts are just on the brink of coming back. Like or dislike the trade and the price to make those trades?
Well, first of all, love AJ being aggressive, and he always does that. He doesn't, shy away from the deals. Yeah, he did get rid of 14 of the top 16, which is mind-blowing, but they still have Ethan Salas and Leonardo DeVries. No, I'm saying that wrong. It's not Leonardo, it's Leonardo, I think, or I can't say it properly. Excuse me. But at any rate, they still have talent in the minors. Just they have those top 2 guys. Preller in his press conference said, we've got guys that are like another wave of players that are probably at rookie ball and single A that they feel confident about. I don't know. I mean, that might be just PR talk there. But you get Tanner Scott, man, a lefty-righty duo with Suarez. I mean, that's killer in 8th and 9th inning. Hoeing, you're not sure. He seems like a versatile piece. And then, the other guy, Adam, sounds like he's going to be good. We saw him last night. But they still are missing a starter, unless this, Martin Perez guy is the one that's going to fill in.
5.20 ERA.
I know. So that's what I'm worried about.
Wafer thin there, but they're really deep in the pen.
Yeah.
So I like the numbers. I think there's unbelievable strength in numbers. Now, I will say this. You won't accept it. I do understand where you are out in left field. I want you to enjoy this season and next season. If they were ever to be back in the World Series, it will be this year or next year, because after that, there won't be winning baseball here, because they will have flushed the farm system bare. They still have all these old contracts, and there won't be any way to be able to get more people on this roster. So enjoy this summer, what's left, and next year, because I think we're going to be looking at substandard baseball for a couple of years after that.
Hacksaw, you're a Debbie Downer, man. You're just so down on this team. No,
you ask a question. You wanted me to do this podcast. I'm giving you the data and the information and my opinion.
Well, the data and the information is they won 9 of their last 11, and they're only 4.5 games out of first place. And there's a lot to be optimistic about. Down the road, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I certainly don't want them wheeling out Machado and Bogarts in wheelchairs in the infield. It may come to that, but I don't think it's going to be a while. And plus, AJ's always going to reload. Jackson Merrill, this is a rookie. He's going to be good moving on. I'm okay with that. But right now, I want the Padres to keep the momentum going.
Pennant race, baby. You did hear the words World Series out of my mouth.
Yeah, print the tickets. No, but the other thing I wanted to ask you is, how in the heck did they set records? Because it used to be that the capacity of Petco was like 43 and change, and now they're getting 47 in there. So
can you say Gallagher Park?
That's got to be what it is, because since they remodeled it, we checked it out earlier this year. It's a lot bigger.
Sure.
So they must be selling a lot more like standing room only seats.
They are. The town response has been phenomenal. Pennant race, baby.
Yeah, right on.
We have a pennant race. We go for